Hello everyone, welcome to Vizag IAS Academy. My name is Sitendra Chaudhary, and in the recent times, lot of hype has been created around the data centers. Even recently, our Prime Minister also said that data centers to be a massive job creator. This topic is extremely important for our exam, for prelims also, and for the mains as well. Prime Minister clearly said, we invite the whole world's data to reside in India. Even in our latest budget, government has given many tax incentive to the data centers. There is a tax holiday on the data centers until 2047. It means government is inviting global data centers towards India. It is a clear indication from the government side. That is why this topic has become extremely important. I am pretty sure that you might have heard about this word called safe harbor rule, which is usually applied on the social media platforms. Now government is saying that this rule applies on the data center services as well. So it means these data centers, these companies which are going to come towards India, they are going to have a legal protection against their use as well. So yes, there is a clear indication that government wants this. So in this video, we'll be discussing a lot about the data centers. So what we are going to learn from this video? Why this is in news? Obviously because it's a part of the current affairs. So we are going to see some recent happenings in the data center field. What is the meaning of data centers, how these data centers actually work, why they are growing so fast all over the world, but our major focus is going to be in India. So we'll be looking some recent developments, some recent basically investments from these global centers towards India. And yes, the most important part is going to be the pros and cons. What are the benefits, what are the negative side of these data centers? Even all over the world, even America, they have the largest number of data centers. In America, these data center companies are actually witnessing a lot of protest against them. Why people are protesting against that, we'll be discussing that as well, but from the Indian perspective actually. And we'll be looking into some way forward and all that. So yes, what is happening in the recent times? Lots of investment is coming towards India in the data center this whole infrastructure thing. Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook, has announced 168 megawatt AI data center. Basically they are taking a Reliance data center on lease in Jamnagar, Gujarat. It's a huge sort of data center. Google has also announced that $15 billion investment in AI hub in Vishakhapatnam. And because most of you might be watching this video from Vishakhapatnam, and you know very well, lot of protests are actually going against this data center as well in the Vishakhapatnam for different reasons. We'll be talking about that as well. And Google, global data center operators Air Think also said that till 2030, India's data center economy is going to be 3 trillion rupees. So this is not dollar, this is rupees. HCL Technology has also signed a memorandum of understanding with Servo AM, and they are going to build 1.5 billion data center in Odisha. So you can clearly see that many these big global players are investing heavily in India's AI data center infrastructure, because government is also allowing them. Government is actually giving them very attractive incentives also. So this is why they are coming. So for the brief introduction part, let me tell you how these data centers work, or what are these data centers. Okay, let me tell you though. Look, whatever we do on the internet, we all have smartphones, we use smartphones, we use apps, Instagram, YouTube and all that. Where that data comes from, we are using a lot of UPI payments as well, Google Play and all these lot of cloud services. We store our photos, pictures, videos somewhere in the cloud, like it may be like Google Drive or somewhere, and we are also using a lot of AI applications like chat GPT or the cloud and all these applications. Where this data goes, or where this data comes from? Look, what is the meaning of cloud? So if you are storing your pictures in the iCloud, let's say, or in the cloud, Google Store, there has to be a place where it is actually stored in a pen drive. Like, so you have a pen drive, you store your pictures in the pen drive, but if data is extremely huge, pen drive is not sufficient. So there are very large infrastructure, very large storage devices somewhere in the physical form. So at the end of the day, all your digital data has to be stored in a physical format so that you can access it from there. It's like a pen drive. It's like a huge storage device, but it is obviously more than the pen drive, but that is the basic concept. These are the data centers where all your data, server, storage, everything goes. It's a physical facility somewhere in a huge buildings. As you can see, these are the buildings where data is stored. where data is stored. Lot of servers are there, lot of GPUs are there, CPUs are there, battery system is there, cooling system is there, where your data is stored. So I hope you understand what is a data center. Data center is a physical place, is a physical thing where every data goes and comes from there if you request it. Okay, let me just give you a brief introduction as well. Again, if you are a user, if I am a user, I have a mobile phone. If I play YouTube, so I am searching a video, I start to play that video. But it is not that simple. First, that your request of playing that particular video will go to the particular place, like through internet or the fiber optics cable. It will go to a storage house, which is your data center, where lot of GPU, CPU servers are located. So they will try to find out your request of the particular YouTube video. If they find that video, they will find that in the storage, they will process it, and they will respond it back to you. It happens into milliseconds through the fiber optics cable. So if you are requesting a video on your mobile phone on YouTube, you think it is played instantly, but it's not that instantly. That request is going to go towards the data center. From there, data will come to your mobile phone again. It's happening in milliseconds. This is what is the role of it. So that video of YouTube is stored somewhere in the physical infrastructure. It is stored somewhere in a physical facility, in a huge data centers, from where it is coming towards you. So whatever you are doing, whatever transaction you are doing, whatever message you are sending, whatever message you are receiving, everything is stored somewhere in the physical format. That is what your data center is. So data centers are basically extremely huge infrastructure. They are so massive, they can take hundreds and hundreds of hectares of land to build them. Huge infrastructure. And because they're huge infrastructure, they have multiple GPU servers connected with each other, because they need to store global data. They are very hot. They are connected to the fiber cables. They are so hot that they need a cooling system. Air conditioning and lot of cooling water, cooling pipes and all that. They need to have the battery system as well for the backup purpose. They need to have hot air exhaust, because they are creating a lot of heat. As you can clearly see, your laptop also gets heat up, right? Your mobile phone also gets heat up. So what about these huge data centers? They are going to actually release a lot of heat. That heat has to be dissipated in the atmosphere, and they need continuous cooling and continuous power as well. So they have a lot of power backup as well. So this is basically a small cross section of your data centers, where we have different parts of it. Here we have different GPUs, servers connected in a line. Here we have the cooling pipes. Here we have the battery system. Here we have the power backups. Here we have exhaust. Here we have the cooling system. Everything is connected in a perfect way. So this is how these data centers actually work. Now question is, why they are growing so fast? Why they are growing so fast now? Look, data centers exist for decades. It's not a new concept. They were there. From the time internet was there, they are there. Like, we are visiting a website, we are browsing a data on the website, we are reading an article, we are uploading a picture on Facebook or whatever we are doing. There used to be data centers earlier as well, because of smartphones and internet and everything. But now, why they are growing so fast? Because every few years, more and more data is created. More data is created, more storage infrastructure we need. So now, because everybody is using smartphone, earlier we did not have smartphones, so data was less. We were not clicking pictures, we were not using internet, so data was less. Now, because everyone has smartphones, cloud computing is now a reality now. And you don't need to store your pictures on your mobile phone. You can store them on the Google Drive or some other drives. So cloud computing is also there. Big softwares, big softwares, big projects of TBs and TBs can be stored on iCloud now. You don't need to have a pen drive to store them. Hey, online payment is also on the rise. Every now and then we do the online payment. Video gaming, video streaming, 5G technology is there, Internet of the Things, digital government service. Now we talk a lot about Digital India. So now, year after year, more and more data is created. That is why you see there is a boom of this infrastructure of this. But now, comes the artificial intelligence. Earlier, we used to have these data centers for the web hosting, for the website searching, for the image storage. That was the mainly function. But now this function has increased multiple times because of the artificial intelligence. Because we need to train AI models. Yes, they create data, they analyze data, they generate data, they create again, they generate again, they study again, they analyze again. So now, because of the AI artificial intelligence, this data which we were created earlier, now this is hundreds and hundreds times more. So now we need more computing capacity, we need more data sets, we need more GPU, and because everything is multiplied, the requirement for electricity has also multiplied. Okay, even you will be surprising to know that power of data center, or you say the size of data center, is equated with the power that you need to run that data center. So basically it is also measured in the megawatt. This is the same unit to measure the electricity power. This is the same unit. See, this is the same unit to measure the size of the data centers, because a size of the data center is depending upon the electricity that it needs. If you look at the data, the electricity demand has been doubled between 24 and 2030, and it is going to be more than that in the future. So yes, there is a concern about the electricity usage as well. Now comes the role of the Indian government and the Indian initiative, because now government is focusing on the digital thing. Everything is getting digitalized now in India as well. Manrega, Digital India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, or defense, or the critical infrastructure, everything is getting digitalized. We are turning into a digital economy. We are a country of 140 crore people. We are the youngest country in the world. So every young people is using smartphone in the multiple ways. We are creating huge data every second. So we need huge data centers also. Now it depends where these data centers are going to be. Are they are going to be in the Europe, or they are going to be in America, or they are going to be in India? Because we are going to create data irrespective of the location of the data centers. Now Indian government has decided that we are going to have these data centers in India. And in the last few years, there is a huge increase in the physical infrastructure of data centers. You see the Hyderabad, Pune, Bengaluru, Chennai, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Delhi. These are some of the new hotspots where data centers are manufactured, they are created. Okay, you need to understand this. Right now, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu are actually leading because 65% of data centers are there, but other cities and states are also catching up. If you look at the data, Wood Mackenzie, it said that India's domestic AI market to reach 11.7 trillion rupees by 2030. It is going to contribute a lot in India's GDP as well. We have young people who are trained, who are engineers, IT engineers, and all that. Every village in India is now being connected with the fiber optics cable. So huge quantity of data is created every second. So we need these data centers. There are a lot of opportunities in this field, and government of India has realized it now. And if you look at some data, that data you can use in your exams also. So I'll not be focusing much on data because this is a simple fact. India had 296 data centers in 2026. And India is the sixth largest market after US, UK, Germany, China, and France. Now we are becoming the sixth, but we want to become the second and the third. So we are going to increase the infrastructure level here, right? Now, one more thing I need to tell you. It looks like that 296 is a huge number, right? It's a huge number. But the size of the data center is not decided by the numbers. It is decided by the electricity consumed. I told you already. So India's data centers are basically small level data centers. But we want to have more mid level and the very large level of data centers. So idea is not to have as many as data centers, but as powerful as possible data centers. Okay. Now, Ministry of Electronics and Information said that India's installed data center capacity increased from 375 megawatt in 2020 to 1.5 megawatt in 2026, 2025, and 2026 it is already 1.8 gigawatt, and this is till August going on. So end of the year, it is going to be around 2 gigawatt. Can you see something here? Gigawatt is a unit of measuring power. This is also a unit of measuring the power of data centers. So larger a data center, the large quantity of power it is going to be consumed. Yes, World McKinsey said India's operational data center capacity is projected to increase more than five-fold from 2.2 gigawatt to 12 gigawatt by 3 to 2030. Just in next 4 years, our requirement for electricity is going to be fivefold. It's a huge eye opener and it's a huge opportunity as well. So why Indian government is pushing data centers so much in India? Why we are giving them tax incentives, tax holidays, free legal protection also? Why we are doing that? We are giving them land on a very small price basically. Why? Because we actually see a lot of opportunities here at different level. If you look at the economic benefit, these data centers are huge physical infrastructures, right? They need construction, so there is a lot of opportunities. Yes, lot of domestic and foreign investment is coming up here, adding in our GDP also. Yes, it needs construction, engineering, technical jobs. It can also enhance India's semiconductor mission as well. And if more data centers are going to be in India, India is going to be like a more investment friendly nation in terms of AI. And AI is not going to stop anytime soon. It is going to be more and more in the future. So if India has a ready-made infrastructure of data centers, all these big companies, MNCs, big data companies are going to come towards India. It is, and it will create a lot of jobs, not only in a particular construction sector, but in the IT sector also. Electrical grid also, the electrical engineers, civil engineers, IT engineers, all these are going to get a lot of jobs in these data centers. There are going to be strategic benefits also. Data sovereignty, Modi ji again and again said this. We don't want our data to be stored in a foreign territory. We want data sovereignty. We want our own data to be stored in our own country for the sake of security. So data sovereignty is also there. India is an independent country. We are a sovereign country. So we want our data to be sovereign as well. It reduces the dependency on the foreign digital infrastructure. Right now, most of the data centers are located in USA. Our data is going to USA, so we want it back actually. Disaster recovery, cyber security, defense, and all that. These are the critical infrastructures here. See, if let's say there is a Indian defense system, or let's say there is a TCS company and all that, their data is stored in some disaster in some data centers, and if there is some fire, some attack in the data centers, they are going to lose their control. So there has to be multiple data centers. There has to be multiple servers on which your data is stored, so that if one server is down, if one server is crashed, you can still recover your data. So in case of the disaster also, if we have more and more data centers, we have more and more servers in the data centers, we can recover our data. So data regarding our critical infrastructure, our nuclear structures, our railway structure, our banking structure, all these critical structure data has to be stored within India, so that we can be more independent and there can be more cyber security as well. It has to be there. It has to be. India is a huge country, 140 crore people. Diversity of the language also. So now we are going to develop different language based AIs also in India. So India is not like one English speaking country, right? We have multiple languages. So data creation, the rate of data creation is so huge in India. We want our own indigenous AI systems, our own local language applications, and their data has to be stored within India only. There are social benefits also. Digital payments, they are going to be strengthened. Welfare delivery. Look, India is giving a lot of subsidies, a lot of welfare schemes. It is very difficult task to analyze the beneficiaries, identify the beneficiaries, to deliver and everything. Like we have PDS system, we have direct benefit transfer and all that. There's a huge data created every second. If we have more data centers, if we have more computing power, we can deliver those welfare schemes uh, with more and more efficiency. We can have better urban planning, disaster management, online education. Lots of things are going to be improved if we have a robust data centers located in India. These are all the benefits. Okay, these are all the benefits. But now, why there are concerns? Why people in Vishakhapatnam are protesting? Why people in America are protesting in the data centers? If this is the benefit, what is wrong with the data centers? We have already discussed some points. The biggest problem is electricity. I can show you a data as well. International Energy Agency said the data centers consumed around 415 terawatt hours of electricity in 2024, which is 1.4% of the global electricity supply. So now more and more electricity is going to be diverted towards the data center rather than the actual people. And this is going to be double by 2030. Even in India also, Ministry of State of Power said AI data centers are projected to add to 26.3 gigawatt electricity demand by 2031-32. So in India also electricity demand, and we can clearly see that India is not energy independent till now. So can a country like India, which is not energy independent, which is actually energy dependent, how we can divert so much of power to these data centers when people actually living on the ground in poorest of the poorest areas in India are not having electricity? So is it ethical, it is legal, or is it welfare to divert electricity from the homes towards the data centers? That is a big question mark. Yes, there are growth and opportunity, but there are environmental cost also. It's not about only electricity. It is about the water as well. Because cooling systems and the piping system and all these things, they need water. They need huge quantity of water. Okay, here I will give you a data also, because you need to back up your statement with the data. Environmental and Energy Study Institute, EESI, said a medium-sized data center can consume up to 110 million gallons of water a year. A large facility of data center can use as much as 5 million gallons of water a day, or nearly 1.8 billion gallons annually, which is going to be equal to a huge city. So now electricity and water are being diverted to the data centers rather than the actual citizen. That is the biggest problem. On the top of that, diversion of land towards the data centers. Where this extra land is going to come from? Either it is going to be agriculture land, or either it is going to be a forest land. Yes, because we don't have excess land, barren land and all that. And these lands have these infrastructure has to be located in big cities or the consumer base. So we already have a land scarcity where this extra land is going to be go. So there is going to be extra pressure on the infrastructure, the road network and the land prices and everything, displacement, lot of things are going to be there. That is another problem. These data centers create a lot of noise because there is a lot of machinery, lot of servers, lot of things are going on. So yes, noise, construction, traffic, pressure on the municipal services. So now our attention is going to be diverted from the municipal services towards the data centers. So yes, the municipalities, cities are going to suffer more. They're already suffering here because of the bad planning and lack of resources. In future, they're going to be more basically worse impact on these municipality services also. One more thing, it looks like data centers are going to create a lot of jobs. Yes, they are going to be, but majorly in the initial phase when construction is going on, lot of infrastructure activities are happening, roads and electricity grid and whatever. In the initial phase, yes, but once construction is done, there are very few permanent jobs which are going to be created, and these jobs are going to be for the highly skilled people. And now because of artificial intelligence, most of these jobs are actually automated. So what is the point of having this much of infrastructure if they are not creating permanent jobs, if your citizens are not getting going to get jobs there? So what is the point? That is one of the biggest questions. So yes, electricity, the requirement for water, requirement of land, permanent jobs, pressure on the municipal services, they are going to be negative side of the data centers. And we have given some facts also. So what should India do? So definitely, look, India, Modi ji clearly said that we don't want to be left behind in the new AI race. When world was going through the scientific revolution, the industrial revolution, we were left behind. Yes, even after independence, when world was going towards manufacturing, we were left behind. But now in this AI race, we don't want ourselves to be left behind. We want to be in the frontier of this AI race. That is clear message from the Prime Minister. So definitely we need to go into that side. But we need to look for the negative side of it. So there has to be a middle way, right? There has to be a middle way, the Buddha's way. These data centers, this technology regarding data centers, they don't need only a physical infrastructure, they need entire ecosystem. Data centers, electricity, network, cooling system, digital infrastructure, everything has to be there. So unless we develop a complete ecosystem, there is going to be an issue. And we need to take care of the power, electricity, and the water resources, which is the biggest concern like in India, because India is already a water scarce country. We are already a water scarce, power scarce country. So how we can divert? So we need to create new electricity. Yes, we need to generate more and more electricity in the future. And mind it, if that electricity is not coming from the clean resources, then it is going to have a lot of carbon footprint also. It may look like a digital infrastructure, it may look like a clean energy, it may look like environment friendly, but if power is coming from coal, then there is no point. So this extra demand for electricity for the data center has to become from the clean energy sources like the solar, like the wind. So we need to have more clean energy infrastructure in the future. That is going to create another demand for land. There can be a deforestation also, a lot of issues. So India needs to take care all these things. We cannot afford diverting electricity from homes towards the data centers. We need to generate more electricity, and we also need to think about the rainwater harvesting or the other resources of save or recycle the water. This is how we are going to proceed. So yes, India need to have a balanced approach, sustainable approach, so that without taking the right, constitutional right of people, without taking that away, we should focus on the ecosystem of AI. We should need to focus on the environment and the people welfare and the digital basically advancement in the future for India. So this is how we are going to wind up this, and I hope you have some idea about what we talked about. It was not a very detailed discussion, but yes, this information is more than sufficient to write an answer in 150 word or 250 word. If you still have any doubts, if I have missed any point, you can tell me in the comment section, or if you have some questions, you can ask me in the comment section. I will answer to all of you. Thank you very much. All the best. Jai Hind.